Hey there, it's Nathalie. Don't you love my shirt? I have all the junk I need, said no junker ever. It should say I have all the lace I need, said no, what, lacer? A junker ever. Anyway, so I've done several vintage shows, Petticoats on the Prairie and our hometown trade show, and I have a bunch of lace left over, plus I've been to a couple of estate sales. And so I was going to show you, rather than just having stacks and baskets of lace, how I organize this. So I'm in my sewing room. My two favorite rooms, the studio and my sewing room. But I'm in my sewing room and I am going to get started with this. Okay, here we go. I probably should have started you from the get-go, but I've already been through like 4 or 5 sacks of lace that I had. And it's not just lace. This is a tablecloth. And I just wanted to cover this up. You know, if you've been here before, kitty no. Anyway, I just covered up my stacks that I already have. So the first thing that I did was I cleared everything off of my big cutting table so that I could have a clean surface, a staging area. And so if you're going to organize whatever it is that you're going to organize, declutter whatever, then you need to have a staging area, a table. Of course, in my house, it's kind of tricky to find any surface that doesn't have something on it. Anyway, so I've already stacked this. I've got like just regular lace, some cutter lace, trim, lace, again, lace trim. This is wide trim. I've got some table linens. I love these. These are so gorgeous. Napkins, linen napkins, damask, vintage, and some of them are newer. This is a very old piece of lace. This will go in, not in this stash of stuff. I have a place for old lace. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my basket that I was showing you. This has embroidery. It also has, it's not very good embroidery. It has crochet trim on it. And actually the trim is not real crochet. It's machine done. So I may put this one aside like cutter stuff. That's not really, we're not really going to keep that. This is a little pillowcase. It has embroidery, so I'm going to leave it here. You know, I have some pillowcases. Let me put that with the pillowcases. And a little dresser scarf or a little napkin with a little pretty crochet edge on it, but it also has embroidery, so I'm going to put it with the embroidered stuff. And again, embroidery with a little bit of crochet. Then I have several white linen napkins, so I'll put those with this stack of stuff. This one actually has, oh, this is a name on here, Robert Wade Norwood, 726. Must be like a laundry number. Same thing. I don't know that they're a set, but it's okay. Alright, crochet, and then I have some larger and smaller. I'll go through that after a while. This is a little dresser scarf that has a pretty little, well, this is crochet, this is a machined lace, so this is really not new. Oh, and just so you know, this is marked as is, 99 cents. That means when you see something that is marked as is, if you're vintage shopping or whatever, that means that there's usually a break, a chip, a crack, a ding, a scrape, or a tear. So that means you're probably not going to go home and say, oh no, it had this on it, so I want my money back. When you buy it as is, that's it. It's as is. So I'll put this here with the dresser scarves. Crochet, you get the idea. I don't have to do all of this for you. So my son was asking me, he was in here and he was looking at some of the stuff, and he said, oh, that's a pretty piece of crochet. So let me show you about this. Let me see if I can get this where you can see it. Okay, this is not crochet. This is woven and knotted, but it's not crochet. Lace, but I don't think it's bobbin lace. It could be, but I don't think so. All right, and crochet is like a little series of stitches and knots, and I'm not going to teach you about crochet, but that's crochet. And this one looks like crochet to start off with, but it's not. And you can see again, it's woven and just woven together, but there's not that series of like single crochets and double crochets. It's got a little boo-boo right there. So let me show you, and this is crocheted, but this is machine crocheted. Not that I can tell the difference in this, it's just that I happen to know because when we had our shop years ago, we used to buy some of this, lots of this, and it just looks like that same manufactured. This one, to me, looks more like a hand crochet. Do you need to know that information? You may or may not need to know that information. But let me show you this. This is kind of fun. So these little crochet with the little flower edges, you know, old school, out of style. But I had a customer come through and she bought all of the doilies that I had that had little flowers on the edges, and she said what she does with them is she makes little bouquets out of them. She gathers them all up and ties them with a little satin ribbon, and she makes a little bouquet. That's a cute idea. I'm not for sure what you would do with it. Tuck it in a pocket, tuck it into an arrangement, set it in the lap of a china doll.
Boutonniere?
Could be a boutonniere, kind of a little feminine for a boutonniere, but it could work. All right, was there something? Oh yes, I know what I was going to show you something else. Now I've got my stacks messed up, so I'll reorganize that. But as I was going through my stuff, I found this. And so I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but just at first glance, seeing through the plastic, there's little grape clusters that are crocheted on bottle caps, some vintage zippers, some old buttons. There's a little doll's shoe that's in this sack. There's a piece of crochet there, some old buttons. Some really cool stuff. I probably just bought this as a hodgepodge sack, and hopefully there might be an old tape measure or something in there. There's some embroidery floss. Anyway, you never know what kind of treasures you're going to find in that. And I know I was going to show you one other thing. Crochet, bobbin lace, and tatting. And so this is tatting. And you use a shuttle. You don't use a hook. You use a shuttle, and it's all knots that slide on the main string. I learned how to do this back in the 80s, and I had to have somebody actually show me. I had to have my hands on the thread. I could not learn how to do it from instructions, from written instructions. Well, it doesn't take much to get me distracted. So as I was going through all of my stuff, I found a sack of calendar towels. And I've sold a bunch of these on Etsy. There's a 1973. I had in mind of doing some projects. They may or 1986. Sweet little card from the place that I bought some of these. Thought about doing some projects with these. I may or may not get that done. Let's see what the year, 1992. Anyway, I sold a bunch of them before I thought about making other stuff. Here's a little bag that I've made, and it's a Hobby Lobby bag, and I just added bits and pieces, little pieces of lace trims. Some of it's vintage, some of it's not. That's vintage. This is new lace, just a little flower, some little pearls hanging there. And so that's some of the things that I do, and I've sold several of these little seam binding hang things. And so I've sold several of these whenever I do little craft shows and trade shows, and they're just a lot of fun to make. Little extra pockets, you could tuck a little cell phone or something in there, or yeah, or just hang this up. It's pretty cute, just like hanging there. So I'm not going to show you the whole process. You're not going to have to watch me go through all of everything that I have. But basically, anytime you're decluttering or organizing, I am not really decluttering. I'm just organizing my collection And yeah, I know, to you it looks like clutter. To me it doesn't so much look like clutter. But anyway, it looks like treasures and ideas and inspiration. And let me just recap real quickly. To organize your stuff, create a staging area. Now I'm going to have like 3 areas. Keep it and organize it. This is what this is. Get rid of it or donate it, you know, put it in the trash or donate it to if it's not good, throw it away. All right? Anyway, so here's some placemats, some more lace, some crochet placemats that I bought. So if you like this video, if it's helped you to kind of get inspired, not everything has to go in the dump. Not everything, you don't have to get rid of everything. It's okay to collect some things. Subscribe. Give me a little thumbs up. Visit my blog, myhallcloset.com. Get on my mailing list. There's another piece of gorgeous lace. Get on my mailing list, and I have a resource library there. Oh, actually, this is on a dress. How cool is that? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.